We have Christina Mayfield over here. She is a student support facilitator. So students with IEPs and whatnot, she does a great job of facilitating those meetings. And then we also have her partner in crime, Ms. Brittany Eisner. She is the counselor. She works on the academic part of that, so what the schedule should look like and all of that for those particular students. So we're excited to have all of those people here. Of course, that's just a sampling of the staff that we have that will be working with your son and daughter next year. Okay, but the goals for today, two main goals. Okay, number one is to inform you. We're going to give you a lot of valuable information, and we know it is a lot of information, especially if you have, this is your first student that you had in high school. It is intimidating, for lack of a better term. And I even know for those of you that have students in high school now, or have already had students go through high school, things are different with graduation pathways. So they're constantly changing things on us. We're constantly adapting, and that's just the day and age in which we live in. I'm not saying it's good or it's bad, that's just the way it is. And so we're going to get through this. So I want to lead my second goal, and that is to reassure you. Okay, reassure you. You're going to get through this. We're going to take care of your kid. We're going to give you good information. But of course, we can't do it. We don't have telepathy. We cannot do it just on guessing what it is that your student wants. So we want that two-way communication going. So those two main goals here tonight. We're going to give a lot of information to you, but we want to make it manageable for you. Okay. When I lead into that, I want to also thank you for choosing us. We live in a day and age where you can go to any high school you want to. You can go to Scottsburg if you want to. We live in a community that has a very competitive educational market. We have a Catholic school that's rich in tradition. We have New Albany High School that's been around forever. We have various small schools out there that have niche things that they really excel in. But you decided to choose us, and we do not take that for granted. So I want to thank you for choosing us. And we think that we will take care of your son or daughter here. And hopefully out there in the spine, you got to see what our school has to offer. I know a lot of small schools will sell you on the family atmosphere and the smallness of classes and things like that. While we do share those things, we are a big school that can offer a lot of things, okay, lots of activities. So we feel like that we have something for everyone. Okay, something for everyone. You didn't see it out there, that's a sampling. That's not everything that we have to offer. I mean, our most recent club that we've had is we have a fishing club. Fishing club. That's pretty cool. Fishing club. Okay, kids get excited about that stuff. Okay, and that's fun to be involved in. Okay, and as a matter of fact, I think I saw somebody with one of their sweatshirts on earlier today, or earlier in the evening. The other thing is our mission statement. We have this posted in every classroom, in every room in the building. Every student successfully completes high school, and that's what it is that we're all about. And of course, it's a very short statement, but everybody can remember it, and it's valuable to everyone. So we want people to reach their potential in the classroom. So successfully graduating from high school, that means that a student that is capable of getting an academic honors diploma, or an IB diploma, or a 440 diploma, we need to reach that goal. We need to make it work for that student in every way that we possibly can. I want to talk a little bit about this because you guys are just kind of at the forefront of it in middle school. You guys have iPads now. Kids have iPads. And this is what's called our Helen Initiative, which stands for Highly Engaging Learning Environment. And what this is, we have several different goals or several different objectives that we're trying to accomplish by giving students an iPad. Of course, improve student engagement. So we want to make it more relevant to students. Of course, we live in a day and age of technology, so technology kind of goes hand in hand with learning. We want to improve connectivity skills because if we did not offer an iPad to everyone, then only students that could afford to have iPads would use them to learn. And we think that would create a disparity in the types of learning that we would have in various populations. We want to encourage collaboration among students and teachers. We think that it improves the relationship between the student and the teacher, and so in various forms. We want to increase student choices for learning. Choice is a big deal now. You can go to Starbucks and get a coffee however it is that you want. It might take some people 5 minutes to order what it is that they want. Learning is very, very similar to that now. Okay, while it's not completely and totally customized like that, it's getting better and better. Okay, and that's what we try to do with that. And then we want to teach digital citizenship. Kids have to learn how to deal with things like how to conduct themselves on Twitter, what a digital footprint is. All of these things are important aspects of learning. But what I do want to emphasize too is that the technology does not drive the instruction. The instruction drives the technology, so we don't want it the other way around. We do not want to be a slave to the technology. We want to use technology as a tool, just another tool that we have to help these kids get where they need to be. Summer reading, I always get this question every year, and we haven't done this in quite a while, but I want to emphasize that we do not have summer reading. Summer's cut a lot shorter than it has been the last couple of years since we've gone to balanced calendar. So we do not have summer reading. There are some upper level classes for upper classes. Okay? These are things, and maybe you brought this tonight. If you did, that's great. I might refer to these periodically. Is that you'll need all of those in the coming weeks, so we can refer to those. There's lots of good information in there about all 4 of those things. So I'm going to talk a little bit about those at the end of the night. Okay? What to expect in high school, just kind of at a glance. Students' academic record is posted on the transcript. So sometimes kids don't get that high school counts. Not to say that middle school doesn't count, but high school counts. And we accumulate credits on the transcript. Every course that you complete per semester is worth 1. Those courses that students took in middle school, such as Algebra 1, Geometry, and any world language, those are going to be on that transcript when they come to Floyd Central. So it will be that will be part of their GPA. All right, now there is a process that we have. If they want to remove it, let's say they get a C or something like that, and they want it off their transcript, we have a process where they can do that by the end of their sophomore year. Okay, that transcript basically has everything on there: GPA, attendance, ISTEP, ACT scores, all that. What it does not have, which is a big misconception, it does not have a discipline record. Okay, the transcript does not have a discipline record on it. Okay, a discipline record is more of a diary for us that we use. Okay, so there's only a syllabus in every single class that they have, and they will hand it out on the very first day. And then teachers issue grades based on running total. And I don't know if Highland Hills is on the running total right now. In the old days, to get your semester grade, you took the first quarter grade and you averaged it with the second quarter grade, and then you threw in your final in there somewhere. You average those 2 together. Well, now it's just a running total throughout the whole semester. So the grade that you get at the end of the first 9 weeks, that is just your grade at the halfway point. It picks up again. When kids come back for the second quarter. Okay, so that's really all it is. We felt that's a better way for students to understand what their grade is and calculate it and be best informed on what their grade is all the time. Okay, if you're new to Floyd Central, if you didn't attend Highland Hills, return additional paperwork along with other forms to FCHS in the front office. We will have that. And then what we can do later in the year, is you can call and set an appointment with Mrs. Stewart, and she will set an appointment with you in April. We're doing it on Tuesdays in April, and that's what we've done in the past, and it's worked quite well. And by the way, I'll post this PowerPoint online for everybody after the semester is over. Physical education and athletic programs. Now, this is going to be Mr. Sequeira. He's going to come up here and talk. And Google Docs is the big thing now. And usually I just link to Mr. Sequeira about 2 slides, but his Google Docs, so he can edit some things. So I think he might have added some things. So I hope it goes okay.
How many minutes I got? 30? 30 minutes to do? PE grading policy. Grade for physical education is based on attendance, missing days, doctor's notes. Every freshman before they graduate has to take 2 semesters of PE. Typically we have them take the first semester, second semester, get one of them out of the way. You end up playing a sport. We're going to talk about that here in a minute, how you can earn credit for a second one. We're kind of discouraging that now because we have a fantastic new renovation of our weight room that's undergoing a complete renovation. Right now there's nothing in it, but in about 2 weeks, we're going to have an open house. We'd love for all of you to come back and check out our weight room. It's about $175,000 that we have raised in community donations, ticket sales of ball games, some of the sports donating some money. So we have a great facility. It's probably going to look very similar to what a lot of smaller Division I weight rooms look like. We also have a strength and conditioning coach that we hired last year. Once Coach Lisi moved on, so this is his first year here. So we're really excited about that, so we'll talk about that here in a minute. But everyone's going to be taking this, but attendance is obviously important. If you do miss, please make sure you bring that doctor's notes in, and then we can allow your child to make up their missed day. Here are some of the things here. Got to take it PE first. When you look down there, there's a flex credit. You look down the bottom left. What that means is, if your child plays a sport or is an ROTC, sometimes we even allow one of the performing arts plays that has a lot of activity to count towards their second credit of PE. Their coach, their teacher will get with those students and they'll be able to fill out a form if they want to use that as their second semester of PE for their high school credit. Once again, as far as the athletes are concerned, I'm discouraging it because I really think there's a lot of benefits to staying in the weight room. A lot of our young men, they grow up a little bit slower than the women. So a lot of them start developing when they get to be sophomores and juniors. So we want to really kind of give them an opportunity to grow, get stronger, and be successful when they get to sports. But if you want to take advantage of this, there is that opportunity. Sometimes the freshmen are kind of scared to ask about it. So if you ever have any questions, just give us a call. I'll be glad to answer your questions and make sure we get that taken care of for you. Elective PE, once again, the coach is recommending, and honestly, in years past, it probably hasn't been highly encouraged by our coaches because it was the football coach having all the football players in the weight room doing football lifts. I know a lot of our coaches are like, oh, I don't want them in there doing squats and just doing nothing but bench, but with a new strength and conditioning coach, he's in there right now working on all different types of muscles, working on speed. So as far as an overall better athlete, that strength and conditioning coach is going to make a huge difference. Every year there's 19 sectionals as far as 19 sports. And at the 19 sports in the IHSAA, when we go and compete, the last 8 years that I've been here, and I'm sure it went on before I got here, we have won at least 10 of those 19 sectionals. 10, sometimes even up to 13. So there was one year we won 13 out of 19 sectionals in the 19 different sports that we had. Fortunately, we're still working on basketball. Maybe we'll hopefully get one this year and we can get over that hump. But what happens is when we go to the next level, people start catching up with us. We got to compete with the Bloomington, the Evansville, the Indianapolis schools. And what we see when we play them is some bigger, stronger, more athletic-looking kids. And it's because they have a strength and conditioning program. So we've taken the step that once we were able to hire a new person in, we have this program, has great benefits. So I highly encourage all of our student athletes, even cross-country, golf, tennis, it really doesn't matter. They will work with your child in those specific types of lifts for your specific types of sports. All PE classes you notice here are divided by gender, so we will have at least one female class up there for the PE, and possibly two. And once again, attendance policy for PE classes is very similar. We talked about the 19 sports, but we don't want them just to pick one and only one. We highly encourage your child to stay involved in more than one. If they're not, encourage them maybe to take up tennis as another sport. We have a lot of kids that maybe come here and all of a sudden say, you know what, I'm going to stay in shape, so I'm going to run track. That's going to help their speed. Some kids run cross country in the fall, and they may not be participating as far as varsity competition, but just being involved in sport, number one, is going to make them more successful in high school. Two, they're going to have more fun in high school. And number three, they're just going to be a better athlete. Okay? And it's going to make the whole experience of high school that much more fun. And we're not talking about just sports. You know, if you are a baseball player, but you also love to sing, get involved in choir. We got a bunch of kids in handbells. All right? The one thing we probably don't have a lot of is theater and athletes. That's because the theater program is so large here, it's very difficult to do both of those. But we can make it work. We've had it done before. Notice their athletic code of conduct begins July 1st, very similar to what you guys probably had in Highland Hills or at the school. You know, we do have higher expectations for our kids because when they go out into the community, and sometimes, especially in high school, they may be taking trips to Evansville, Indianapolis, much further than what they did in Highland Hills. They're going to be wearing our logos, the Floyd Central logo. And we don't want people saying, man, those Floyd Central kids, they're a bunch of, you know, jerks or causing problems. We want them to be able to come back and talk good things about our kids. And we haven't had any issues, but we always have to have a policy in place just in case. That rarely comes into effect, so we're fortunate we have great kids, and that all starts with you parents sending your kids to us, and they know what they're supposed to do, so we appreciate that. New varsity letter program. And this kind of goes back to the first thing we talked about up there at the top about encourage your child to play more than one sport. There's a point system in place that your child can earn a $200 credit to buy their varsity letter jacket. They get $200. If you can, they can get 30 points. They get 3 points for a freshman sport, 5 for a JV sport, and 10 for a varsity sport. So we have a lot of kids who are doing multiple sports. You know, they might get 3, 5, and 5 the first year. The next year, you know, they're gaining more points. We have a lot of sophomores, especially when they're doing cross-country track. That's a pretty easy one to make. They earn their daggone varsity letter by the time that they're, you know, done with their sophomore year. And when they start wearing that, they've got pride. Once again, it looks great for us in the community to have kids wearing their letter jackets, but they also get into all the ball games for free if they wear their jacket. They get a special little Highlander on their side of the jacket. So varsity letter programs do here, trying to bring back the leather jackets that most of us, when we were going to school, we wore them to school. A lot of kids don't anymore. So we're trying to bring that back a little bit. So that's why we started the new varsity letter program. Driver's ed, you guys are still a couple of years away from this, but we do have a program. Mr. Michelle, who's over at the Highland Hills, he is kind of in charge of that right now. So you guys will be familiar once you get to that age. We'll get you in contact with Mr. Michelle to be able to talk about driver's ed. Once you get to close to that age, please come to see us or check out the bookstore. We can get you some information so you guys can get involved in that program here. And now on to diploma graduation requirements. And this is Yerke. Larissa. Is that for me or for her? Both. We'll say both. Both.
You know me so well from yesterday, right? Students that are here? Yeah, I had the privilege of getting to go to Highland Hills to meet with your students yesterday. And, you know, just my 19 years in education, the last 15 have been at Scribner, like Dr. Willman said. And so I know where you're sitting because I've been working with the 7th and 8th graders at Scribner for so long. So my goal is to really help ease your mind and help make this transition smooth as you transition to high school. So some diploma and graduation requirements. And I went over all of these with your students yesterday. So hopefully they came home and talked to you, and I know they did because I received a lot of emails and phone calls from some parents. So I'm glad that you did that, students. So, okay, as Dr. Willman said, in high school you receive credits, and I talked about this with the students as well. So if you are sitting in a class, you need to earn a grade, and if you earn a D or higher, you're going to get a point. Your credit as a point. And so we have an end goal in mind, and each semester we want for those credits to add up to 6 or more, okay? So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. If you take a study hall, or if you are a teacher's aide, you do not receive a credit. So we have 7 periods in our day here, and if you take 6 classes, you can earn 6 credits, and if you take a study hall, you would not receive credit for that. If you choose not to take a study hall, then you can receive the 7 credits. So a typical 9th grade schedule, like I said, is taking the 6 credits each semester. And so by the end of their freshman year, we're hoping to have 12 credits that each student has received. So again, I talked about these, and your students should have brought home a green folder last night that I gave them. It was a packet of all sorts of information. And they also should have brought a decision guide booklet. So I'm going to hold that up. It's the white booklet. Everyone got one yesterday. If your student was absent, Ms. Seaworth down there has extra. I'm also going back to Highland Hills tomorrow, and I will be with the students during their lunch period. So if they have questions, I will be set up to answer anything that they have. But in your decision guide booklet, it's on page 5. It's going to list the diplomas that are offered here at Floyd Central, which are through the state of Indiana. The first one is the core 40. So you'll notice on page 5 that it's going to map out the classes that they need for that diploma and the amount of credits that they need in that specific area, okay? So I'm not going to stand up here and read, but I want you looking at this book, because on that Public Law 119 sheet, if you look at that, I'll get to that later too, it's a pink sheet that was in that folder, and you're going to declare the diploma. Now again, like the 4-year plan that we talked about yesterday, students, it's a guide. It doesn't mean it's set in stone. We can make changes. Same thing with the diploma, but we like to be on a specific path or track. And then we also offer the core 40 with technical honors. And so that's a minimum of 47 credits. And that's going to be on the bottom right page of your decision guide booklet. And it's going to map out all of the classes that they need. So this is going to be a handy booklet for you to keep close to your side for the next few days as you're making some decisions. And then the core 40 with academic honors, that's going to be at the top again. That's a minimum of 47 credit hours, so it's a step up. It's more than the core 40, but both the core 40 with academic honors and the core 40 with technical honors are a minimum of 47 credits. They can earn a lot more than that as well, and that's totally fine, but a minimum of the 47. And then the last diploma is a lot more rigorous in the coursework. It's the International Baccalaureate. And we will actually have the meeting, and I know that was on the letter and the email that was sent out for specifics on that diploma after this meeting. And we'll be in, what room is that in? Or we're staying in here. Okay, we're going to stay in here. So if you want more details on that diploma, just stay put after we go over. Okay, so math courses that we offer. We have Algebra 1, Geometry 9 Honors, and that's a weighted honors class. We have Geometry, we have Algebra 2 Honors, which is a weighted class. And this is for all students who are already enrolled in Geometry. One thing I want to make sure that you know, in 8th grade, if your student has already taken Algebra 1 and or Geometry, you still have to take 4 math classes when you get here to the high school, or quantitative reasoning classes. You will need those while you are in the building. So just because you took those, yes, they will be on your transcript and they will be included in the GPA, but you still have 4 more math classes to take while you are here. And like Dr. Wilma mentioned, you can remove that credit if you got a C and you don't want that by the end of your sophomore year, and there's a process to do that. But keep in mind, you must have the 4 math classes while you're in the building. Okay, and so for the grade point average, and the class rank. I know a lot of people have already received some emails regarding this. For the GPA, what you will do, you will add up the total points or total credits, and you're going to divide that by the number of classes they have taken. For the class rank, and for the GPA, let me say that summer school classes, online classes, those count as well. Now for the class rank, it is only for the 8 semesters they are sitting in this building, okay? Summer school classes don't matter and aren't applied to that, as well as online classes do not apply to that. It's while you are in our building for the 8 semesters. So everyone's starting as a freshman on the same playing field. Okay, you will start out and work toward that class rank then. Also, Mr. Kramis, or Dr. Kramis, he sent out an email that we put together a screencast on that, and it was sent via email. I would encourage you to watch that because it's a great explanation of mapping out the GPA and the class rank as well. I believe Dr. Belfer is next.
Thank you very much. Course selections and career paths. So the first thing I say is a lot of parents really spend a lot of time praying over career paths. Right? And what we want students to do is have an idea of where they want to go in high school. But they are not, when they do that Public Law 119 sheet, fill out their 4-year plan, registering for classes for 4 straight years. Okay, they're not doing that. So I don't want you to think they are. It can change. And we kind of expect it to change. Their interests will change, they'll grow up, they'll mature, so they will change their mind. But Public Law 119 does require them to establish a career focus by their freshman year. So it does want them to at least be thinking about the future. Because I feel I've made the kids and I say, okay, why do you come to school every day? You are preparing yourself to do what? that you want to do what. And most of the time, kids do not change. If they want to be in the medical field, they kind of stay in that area. I say that kids don't say, I really want to be, really want to be a welder, and then the next day they come in and want to be a ballerina instructor, where the building blocks are a lot different to get there. Generally, they kind of stay where in high school the building blocks are the same. So you can refer to your decisions course. We gave you the short version. There's a long version that is on our website of the decisions booklet. You can look that up, and it'll have even more information in that. Of course, descriptions are longer and that kind of stuff. So we expect them to select a diploma track. So, like Ms. Shirky talked about, 440 academic honors, 440 technical honors for the IB diploma. We expect them to choose one of those. They are asked to select a college and career pathway and to think about, okay, what line of classes do I want to take? Okay, so they're asked to think about that and do those things. And they may select a professional course as well that they want to go as a junior and senior. So students go to Prosser just their junior and senior year. They don't go to freshman and sophomore. So we ask them to start thinking about that. All right? But like I said, it can change. We kind of expect it to change. They might take a class and say, I really like to go this direction. Or I took it in my freshman year, I really don't want to go that direction. I want to try something else. And that's okay. We get that across. You're not signing up for 4 years of classes with that sheet. You're just making a plan, a guideline to say, this is where I think I want to go. This is where, and we expect you as parents to help them, to say, all right, this is where your abilities lie. We would like you to go here. And then the other question we get a lot of, what are AP courses? What are dual credit courses? All right, AP stands for Advanced Placement, because we use a lot of acronyms here at the high school level. All of education does. AP stands for Advanced Placement. Okay, Advanced Placement is a division of the College Board, and what they do is Advanced Placement class, or AP class, is a college class taught at the high school level. So it's a college class taught at the high school level, but for a student to receive credit for that class, they take a test at the end of the year in May. We have a 2-week window of AP testing in May. If they get a 3 or higher, it's on a 5-point scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the grade that a student is assigned. If they get a 3 or higher, then all Indiana public colleges and universities have to give your student 3 hours of college credit for that class. Now they may be able to say what it's in. They may give you elective credit they may give you elective credit at Purdue for that physics class, and they may want you taking physics 1 with them. But you do get college credit for that. All right? And kind of with my own children, a lot of colleges and universities, for 3, they gave you credit, and 4 or 5, they gave you credit on what it was in. But it depends on the college and university. But all public schools, colleges in Indiana must give you 3 hours of college credit for that AP course if you get a 3 or higher. Now, a dual credit course is a college course taught at the high school level as well. But at the end of that course, the grade you get is the grade that you have. All right? Our dual credit courses are all assigned through Ivy Tech. All right? They do go to IU, they do go to Purdue, they do go to IUS. All right? They do go to all those places. So they do transfer there. Okay? And so for a list of all our dual credit courses, you can refer to your Citizenship book. Okay? All right? And it'll talk about the AP, dual credit, and IB courses fall in there as well. If you take an IB course, depends on the college or university. Though, you take a test at the end of the year of those, and they're on a 7-point scale. So, and a lot of colleges and universities give you credit for IB classes as well. That will transfer. All right. So, Ivy Tech registration. To get the dual credit from Ivy Tech, your student has to register at Ivy Tech, basically. So there's directions on how to do that in your folder. All right? And so for us, they need a C number. So C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we know that's your student's number, all right? And they're in the system. So it's a lot easier for us if your student's already in the system than, hey, I'm going to take a dual credit course, and so we have to load them along with all the other schools in the region are getting loaded as well. So that makes sense. If you go ahead and get in and do it now, it makes it a lot easier for us, right? Even if they're not going to take a dual credit course to the junior year, right? Makes it a lot easier. But like I said, all ours are through Ivy Tech. At Prosser, they're through Ivy Tech, Vincennes, and even have a couple through Jefferson Community College in Louisville. And then we have the Transfer General Education Corps Certificate, all right, the TJ. That is 30 hours that you can take at the high school level. And every college university has to give you all 30 hours, or excuse me, every public college university in Indiana has to give you all 30 hours in what you took it in. So it has, there's choices, like I said, that's in your decision book as well, but they basically, some they have to have 6 Ivy Tech credit hours, some they have to have 9 in different areas, but a lot of choices, and we offer a lot of those classes at Floyd Central. And the one we did, in the area we did was speech, and we picked that up this year. So we have students in our building that are taking speech to get that, and then some choose to do it at Ivy Tech over the summer or things like that to get it. But if you qualify for that, you get those 30 hours, it transfers to IU, it transfers to Purdue, it transfers to any public college, university, and state of Indiana. And like I said, the details for that are in your decision book as well. But that is, we've had a lot of kids do very well with that. Okay? And then scheduling for the IB diploma. If you think you want to, you know, as a student sitting here or a parent, if your student wants to be an IB diploma candidate, one of the things you need to consider scheduling for your freshman year are you want to take 7 classes. You want to do that, and you want to take a language. It's very important because you have to go through. It's an international baccalaureate, so international. You need to know world languages. So they have to take a language their freshman year. So they have to do that. All right, and then we ask them to take honors courses, and you as a parent know what they can handle. They don't have to take all honors courses. We like them to take honors or AP World History, honors biology, all of them or a couple of them. Figure out the path that's best. But the thing that will eliminate your student as a freshman is that they don't take a language the freshman year from the IB diploma. Okay, so that's the thing to think about. And like I said, earlier we're going to have a meeting right after this meeting in here to talk about that. Okay? And then Project Lead the Way. Project Lead the Way is a 4-year sequence of courses. It's 5 classes. That's a pre-engineering course. Okay. All 5 courses receive dual credit through Ivy Tech. So we have freshmen in that introductory course, and they're getting dual credit through Ivy Tech. It's a national certified program. It is making its way into the middle school, where we start that program at the middle school level and do that. But it's a national curriculum. They teach it here, and they teach it at places all over the country. All right, we're the pre-engineering. Other places will have different disciplines with that as well. Okay, the first course that a student should take is Introduction to Engineering Design. So that is class number 1 that they take as a freshman. So that is the first one. And if the student completes all 5 classes, they've met the requirements for a technical honors diploma. We talked about different diploma tracks. So you get a technical honors diploma. A lot of times it's process curriculum, but the Project Lead the Way also meets that criteria as well. And then Prosser. Prosser has grown leaps and bounds in the last 10 years. It is not what some of you who've gone through New Albany Floyd County schools may think of Prosser. All right? Prosser gives a lot of dual credit. Like I said, through Ivy Tech, Vincennes, they have a full program with Vincennes. And then, you can't quote me on that because when I did the study a couple of years ago, they did still have some Jefferson County Community College things on there as well. But they have over 20 programs. Some of the courses are 1 year in length, some are 2 years in length. All right, but they earn 3 credits because they go to Prosser for 3 hours, so it's worth 3 credits. So generally, a student would take Let's say math, English, social studies at Floyd Central, eat lunch, have a travel period down there, and then take 3 classes, 1 3-hour class at Ross. Okay? So they can earn 6 credits per school year. And like I said, they really are moving with certifications and dual credit. So students can be college bound in really every program that they have at Ross. And there's Prosser accreditation. I can't speak highly enough of Prosser and the opportunities they give kids. Okay? And it'll be Dr. Wimpin, he'll talk about life after high school.
All right, I'll get on to this. This will relate, of course, to what it is you're looking at. So this kind of helps you plan backwards a little bit. Just kind of see where it is that you might want to end up, and then planning backwards. Of course, it's very difficult to get a 14-year-old to look much further than this far in front of his face. And so that's what the whole goal of this thing is to get them to think about that. Okay, so the Core 40, what do technical junior colleges want? Those sorts of things. We have all of that. Okay, so the rigorous curriculum, completing some sort of pathway sequence, or some type of certificate. That would be through Prosser there, which, by the way, is having an open house on the 17th. That's open to anybody. It's really interesting. Brand new facility. I'll be really excited. This is something that I got from a survey done by probably the most popular college counseling or college admissions organization out there. And these are ordered in importance. All right. And so I just want to point out a couple of things. Okay, grades in all courses. Of course, they're going to count that. They're going to look at that, how you're doing in what those courses. The grades in college prep courses. So how are you doing when it comes to these difficult ones, the AP and the dual credit, the IB? All right. Strength of the curriculum. How strong is that? Are they? Does that relates back to the college prep and all of that stuff? And then your test scores. All right, but what I do want to emphasize are those things down here, okay, is that a lot of people make a big deal out of class rank. To really the colleges, and that's coming from them, it's really not that big a deal, okay? So make sure that you choose courses based on what it is that you're interested in, what you're excited about, what you're curious about. High school is the time to do that, okay? And try to avoid making decisions based solely on class rank. And I know that's important. I know some colleges give away some money for it. Okay, but that's not as common as it used to be. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. The class rank is really pretty far down the list. Yeah, I can end up being a tiebreaker in some cases, but for the most part, it's down the list. Okay. So now, an example, I use minimum standards, and I use stuff to get into. It used to be a fallback school for a lot of people, and it is not anymore. It is stuff not to criticize, say it's a fallback school. I apologize for that. Okay. But anyway, but it used to be. It's a lot tougher to get in. Okay. Is that they're looking for a lot of high-level math, a lot of pre-cal there, pretty high ACT, SAT scores, and they're going to look for this a balanced math program. Okay. Now, of course, if you shoot basketball and run 4.340, that might be a little bit different, but for the most part, that's what they're going to look at there. All right. Now, resources that we have in order for you to be successful. This will come about when you come here in the late summer. We have freshman night out, and these are tentative dates. And July 22nd, that will be where Ms. Yerke will lead kind of a workshop for kids. It'll last about an hour or something like that. We'll have like a scavenger hunt, kind of fun things for the kids to do to sort of get them familiar with the building, get them familiar with the culture, and all of that. That is the 22nd. We might move that back a little bit because we know that a lot of people are still kind of on vacation the 22nd. It's hard to believe, gosh, July 22nd, for heaven's sake, you can go to school. Yeah, that's the way it works, but you'll love October, believe me. All right, so academic support. We have the Counselor's Corner. There's lots of stuff out there for that. Lots of information there when it comes to scholarships when they get older. Then we have extended day where we have student tutoring, where teachers will stay after and tutor for kids. And then we have a student mentor program, which is facilitated by Mrs. Yerke. And those are upperclassmen that help kids along with better study habits and things like that. They meet daily. All right? And then summer school. We have that. I know we got a lot of questions on summer school. Just be patient on that. We'll get information out to you in April. So after spring break, we'll send some information down to Highland Hills and have a sign-up process for that. If you feel that you need to take some summer school courses in order to fulfill your 4-year plan. we'll do that. And so our tentative dates are June 3rd to the 21st. That is when I have the teachers here. So we want all kids to get done in that three-week period. That doesn't always happen, but I don't have really anybody in the building after that to give any support to kids. So they don't get done by the 21st, and they have to finish up when school starts. But you'll get more information on that a little bit later. Okay, PTO Renaissance, I encourage you to get involved in that. There'll be much more information on that. We have a fantastic PTO program here and all of the great activities that they do for us. So we want parents to get enrolled in that and get interested in that. And then these sorts of things here. This is one thing that Mrs. Yerke wanted me to point out is this Google Classroom. She will send out information via this instrument on Google Classroom because all the kids are really on Google Classroom. So it would be good to just go ahead and download the Google Classroom app and then put that in as your password there. Right? And then of course Twitter is always good. That's my Twitter handle there today. I believe it does stroke my ego a little bit. I get, I have 1,400 followers. I like that. So if you want to do an old man favor, please go ahead and follow me. That's fun. I like it. I like the tweet. All right. So graduation pathway. Now this is what you all need to hear about. This is the big thing that people are confused about. And I want to say that I think this is going to be good for our kids. Okay, there's a lot of criticism about what the state does, about what legislators do to educators. And yeah, I have I've got some thoughts on that. If you're free for a couple hours, I'll tell you. But this is going to be really good for our kids. It's going to help us out. So instead of having to pass a test, okay, just one test and having to retake it over and over and over and over again, they take up so much class time, they have come up with this. And we are now able to sort of practice, I want to use the word practice loosely, on the kids currently in high school. So we're already sort of somewhat implementing this to select a group of kids that this fits into. All right? But we will replace it for this class in 2023. You'll be the first class there. There are 3 components of the graduation pathways. 3. Okay? The first one is relatively simple. Because what you're going to do is the student has to complete all of the defined diploma credit and curricular requirements of one of the following diplomas. So they just have to earn a diploma. Okay? That's just the way it is right now. So that's pretty simple. That's just all the stuff we went over credits. They have to earn that. The second is a little bit more complicated, but I don't think we're going to make it complicated. Learn and demonstrate employability skills. So they can go through several different ways on this. They can do any one of these 3 right here. Some sort of project-based learning experience, service-based learning experience, or work-based. So I'm going to look backwards here. Work-based. Do they have a job? Can we get an employer to sign off on a paper that they have a job? That they fulfill this? Or service-based learning experience. We are able to work in athletics, ROTC, band, dance team, all sorts of things in there. If they participate in that, then they will be okay with this. Now there's some other components that have to go along with it, but I think it's minor. Most of our athletics and our performing arts do something that is service-based. All right, and so we will be able to work that through. And then project-based learning experience. Sometimes that could be a class. Okay? Sometimes it could be a course that you take. Like sometimes I'm looking at Project Leadway might be an example of it, where they have some sort of project-based learning experience in there where they try to solve some sort of problem. So this is a relatively easy component to fulfill. All right. So with that, students can include activities and involvement with an organization from July 1st of their freshman year to the September after their graduation. So anything that they do between that time can help count for this. I don't think that's going to be a big obstacle for our kids. Okay, I really don't think so. All right, and this is a form that we're having current kids fill out. Okay, we will have this, and of course you'll find this PowerPoint, like I said, on the website in the announcement section sometime tomorrow. But that's where we have. That's kind of how we try to shrink it down. I think this will be fairly easy for our kids to fulfill. All right. Now this part is a little bit more difficult. All right. Students are required to complete at least one of the following. All right. So if they earn an academic honors diploma, they're good. Okay. They do the requirements of the academic honors diploma. So notice there, if you do an academic honors diploma, you take care of 2 two components of the graduation pathways together there. You reach a benchmark on the ACT score. Those are benchmark scores. Okay, now notice, just like everything else at the state level, it's fluid and subject to change. So it could change. All right? Could be the SAT. They take the SAT. And you can mix and match those things. So let's say you do well on the SAT in math, but you don't do well in the English part, but you do well on the ACT. You can mix and match those. Okay, that will work. Or the ASVAB. And we've already had a lot of kids take the ASVAB here at FC. We did that with our current seniors. And that 31 is very doable for lots and lots of our kids. All right? But the state will tell you, just make sure you don't abuse any of these following components. Okay, so the ASVAB is one of those. Okay, so those are tests that they can take. Okay, or, and I'll just continue that, state and industry recognized credential or certification, or career technical education concentrator. Basically, those two things, crosser. Okay, that's what it would be. Or something maybe in Project Lead the Way. There's lots and lots of different options there that they can fulfill. All right? And then AD, IB dual credit courses. On a C, and there's 3 of those courses. All right? So you get there. Or a locally created pathway. All right? So look at, there's so many options on there. Now, in addition to that, there will be some sort of, if you want to call it a graduation exam or a state test. We don't know what that looks like right now, but it's not going to be like the I-STEP that they have right now. So we're not quite sure what that's, it might be the PSAT, it might be the plan test, it could be something, I don't know. The state hasn't come up with that yet, okay? But the test, that's coming. We don't know what that is, and we'll definitely communicate that to you as soon as we know what that is, okay? Or we could do some locally created pathway. We're looking at pathways in something like health careers or performing arts or something like that. So that takes some developing on our part, and we're working to get that together. Okay? So like I said, those are pretty, I think that's going to be good for our kids. It gives us lots and lots of options, and it allows kids to pursue areas that they might not have been able to pursue if they're having to keep taking the I-STEP over and over and over again. Okay? It gets us out of the retesting business. All right. So with that, you're going to say, okay, Dr. Malone, what is it that I need to do? What are my tasks? What do I have to do in the coming days? I'm going to tell you, okay? This all has to do with your packet. All has to do with your packet. Fill out the registration form, that green long sheet. Okay, fill that out. And the pink form with your student. Okay, the 4-year plan. Create your student's 4-year plan. Okay? In doing so, they can sit down and talk to people. You know, talk to your neighbors, talk to older brothers and sisters, talk to friends about what it is, what classes they took. Chances are they've had a very similar experience. All right. Tomorrow, because your people will be down there during lunchtime. We'll have Q&A down there with kids if they have any questions. All right. But the deadline to determine all capable to science teachers is Wednesday. So next week, on the 16th, she will be back down there, as well as all the rest of the counselors, and be able to talk to kids and try to get them registered via iNow into our database to get that going. All right? And then once those are all in, once we get everybody's courses entered, we will send a course request out to you. We'll send those out to you to make sure that we have everything right. Okay? I would encourage you, if you're choosing a world language, pick an alternate world language, okay, because some of them tend to fill up rather quickly. Okay, so be sure that you do that. All right? So those things right here, we will ask for the registration form, the Public Law 119 form, the 4-year plan, and another paperwork maybe for new students. We will get that. Okay? So that is what it is you should need. Okay? And then this other thing is a bonus. This is a bonus. Register for Ivy Tech Online. That's a bonus. You don't have to do that right now, but that's a bonus. I would encourage you to go ahead and do that and get yourself a C number, and that way you're in good shape. And then preparing for college and career. This is just one thing right here. There is a change in the book. This course right here, Career Information Exploration, has been changed to Preparing for College and Career. That has been changed. Okay, so just wanted you to know that so there's no confusion. Okay. All right. So that's what we have. That's a lot of information. We're going to stick around. I'm going to go ahead and send out the counselors and